Have you ever walked past a bench and thought, wow, that looks really uncomfortable. I'd rather sit on a porcupine. That's not bad design. That's street furniture with a side of cruelty. Welcome to the bizarre world of anti-homelessness architecture, also known as hostile architecture, defensive architecture, or if we're being honest, how to look like you're solving homelessness without actually doing anything architecture. Because nothing says compassion like a metal stud poking you in the back at 3 a.m. This is a bench. Well, technically it's a bench, but really it's a passive-aggressive way of saying we don't want anyone lying down here. You see this slanted bus shelter with no back support? It's not a modern art piece. It's a public seating area designed to keep people vertical and miserable. And those studs, they're not decorative. They're there to stop people, particularly people experiencing homelessness, from sitting or resting. We've created a whole genre of architecture whose sole purpose is to make public space as unwelcoming as possible. It's like if public spaces were managed by the Grinch. So why do we do this? Why do cities pay actual money, public money, to install metal spikes on flat surfaces? Well, it's part of something called Crime Prevention Through Environmental Design, or CPTED, which sounds like a fancy master's program, but it's basically the architectural version of move along, you're scaring the customers. Municipalities get complaints, business owners get twitchy, residents want their sidewalks clear. So instead of funding housing or mental health supports, or I don't know, treating people like people, we just make the spaces unusable. It's the urban policy version of, if we close our eyes, maybe it'll go away. Now you might be thinking, but it keeps the streets tidy. Ah, yes, cleanliness, our highest virtue, right up there with performative empathy. What hostile architecture actually does is make homelessness more dangerous. It pushes people into alleyways, under bridges, into less visible and more unsafe places. And it sends a clear message. Your existence is a problem and we'd like you to relocate your suffering somewhere else. And the worst part? These designs reinforce the idea that people experiencing homelessness are a threat to public order, that lying down is deviant, that resting is criminal. Imagine being so bothered by someone sleeping that your solution is install spikes. That's not public safety. That's passive-aggressive sadism with a city permit. Here's a wild idea. Instead of building cities like obstacle courses for poor people, we could, wait for it, build solutions. We could invest in inclusive design, public spaces that work for everyone, 24/7 bathrooms, shelters that don't feel like punishment, supportive housing that isn't just a pilot project lost in bureaucracy. Now, some cities have even removed hostile infrastructure and added benches. I know, radical, because dignity shouldn't require a residential address. So next time you see a no sleeping bench, or a music blasting underpass, or a bus shelter that's basically just a tilted roof of shame, remember this. Someone approved that. Someone budgeted for that. Someone said, yes, let's make public space less public. The question isn't just why is that there? The better question is, why are we okay with it? Because architecture is not neutral. It reflects what and who we value. And if our cities are designed to exclude people experiencing homelessness, that says something about us. And it's not flattering. Thanks for watching. If this episode made you feel uncomfortable, good. Now you know how a park bench feels. Go ahead and like and subscribe. It's the only kind of engagement cities don't try to discourage. I'm Iain Jong, and remember, solving homelessness doesn't require anti-sleep spikes. It requires political will, housing, and the radical idea that public space should be, public.